Good, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Miss Jeanna Kindle and Mr. James Jones. Jeanna Kindle is here from the Los Angeles Food Bank, one of the largest food banks in the country, and she's going to talk a little bit about the food bank and how you can go about getting your pantry started. James Jones is here in terms of talking Gangster for Christ and trying to get various donations for his organization. We want to talk with both of them. I really want to say, I want to give a shout out there to Bishop Booker, because he was talking to me earlier this morning, and Jeanna, about having this food bank going for him. We also want to give a shout out there to Linda Woodward, in terms of the daycare that they're doing there in Austin, Texas. And I wanted to say hello to my sister, which was critiquing my business performance on the air. So I just want to say hi to everybody. But what we're going to do today, we're going to talk a little bit with Jeanna in terms of the 501c3 and what you can do to set up your pantry. Then we're going to move on over to Mr. Jones so he can be able to talk a little bit about what he's looking for in donation. And both of them have their 501c3s. Right now, I'm going to introduce you to Miss Jeanna Kindle.
Well, thank you, Jerry. It's so wonderful to be here today. And one of the things that I wanted to share with you is that as long as you have your 501c3 and that you have liability insurance and a feeding program, a regular feeding program, then under the Feeding America rules, you're eligible to open up a food pantry and be able to receive product from the Feeding America food banks across the United States.
Okay.
And there's about 208 food banks that are affiliated with Feeding America throughout the United States. And in essence, there's at least one or two food banks in each and every state, from the west side to the east side, from the north to the south. And it's really easy to find your local Feeding America food bank. Simply go to www.feedingamerica.org. Again, that's www.feedingamerica.org. There you can put in your zip code and find the Feeding America food bank that is closest to you. And that's the easiest way to become affiliated with the food bank, is to open a pantry, receive your 501c3, get that liability insurance, and off you go.
Let me ask you something else. Right now, how many people are you feeding, and what is your volume of people that donate to your, like Ralph's, Alpha Beta, different companies that donate to the food bank so that these people can be able to get food?
Okay. Well, the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank distributes about 1 million pounds of food every week, and that's through about 700 specific agencies that are nonprofit. And you don't necessarily have to be a church. You could be a boarding care center. You could have strictly an after-school program. You might even want to have if you're dealing with seniors. So basically, as long as you have a 501c3, you don't have to be affiliated with a religious organization. You just have to have a feeding program in place. And what makes it really interesting is that there are some people who really have a mission to feed people. We find a lot of times people will make food in their homes and they'll go out to specific areas where they know that people are in need. But that's costing a lot of money, and to be quite honest, in many cases, it's not really that healthy, because even though you may keep the cleanest kitchen in the world, there's a lot of times where what the health department requires and what you do in your home is totally different. And you can be very sanitary in your house, but you just really want to make sure that if you are feeding people, you want to have a safe environment. You want to make sure that you are adhering to the rules as mandated by your state, your city, and your county. And in essence, what we do is we try to make it easier for people who have that heart. in their mission to feed people. So even though we distribute about 1 million pounds of food each week, and we're bringing in a lot more because unfortunately some of the product that comes in through the food bank, it's not usable. So we go through each and every pound that comes into the food bank, and we want to make sure that it is fit for human consumption, that the expiration dates are in order, and that the product is something that we feel comfortable eating. A lot of the Feeding America food banks throughout the United States are no longer bringing in lots of what's so-called junk food. We're really concentrating on fresh fruits and vegetables, lean meats, cheeses, whole grains. We look at the USDA plate, which used to be called the pyramid, the food pyramid. So what we do is we try to bring in our product based on what's healthy for the environment. And everybody likes to treat every now and then, some cake, cookies, candy, ice cream. That's fine, and we will bring that in, but our main focus is on healthy food. And if you, as a nonprofit organization, decide that it's something that you want to get involved in, we really want you to know that a lot of the product that we are distributing is fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, lean meats, and grains. And so we also accept any grocery product. So in essence, what I tell people when they decide that they want to donate to the food bank is anything that you can use from the time you get up to start your day until the time you end your day can be used by food banks across the country, because it's not just relegated to food. If you're sweeping your house or cleaning your windows, if you're applying makeup or using deodorant, things like that, we really try to feed the entire person. So in addition to the fresh fruits and vegetables and healthy food, we also want to help them get product that will help make their lives a little bit easier.
What I found in speaking with a lot of the people that have gotten their 501c3s and we've helped out, they find that there are certain geographic areas across the country where it's more like, let's say if the city has a pantry and it may be 100 or 200 miles outside of there, nobody's helping those people, and they're trying to start these many pantries to help these people get started so that they don't have to drive that far to be able to do that. And that's why I brought up the issue about what it would take for them to get their pantry started, and especially a lot of these churches and pastors that are trying to help these in the communities, and then they have to drive a long ways. I know the Department of Agriculture gives out quite a bit of food for the pantry, for the different food program, but there's also a lot of commodities given out through, like what Jeanna does, the food bank itself. So I just want to make sure that we get on board and get all the pertinent information from her so I can be able to help all you people that have your 501c3 that are not privy to how to start your pantry, so we can get this food pantry going as well. And I think Jeanna can attest that we've been together for the last 15 years. We spoke at various colleges together, and we've seen a lot of transition take place over the duration of time. And right now it seems like it's harder and harder to keep the pantries filled. And I want to know what's our expectations on that.
Well, Jerry, I will tell you, it is very difficult. Every food bank has a goal, a poundage goal, and it's every year technology gets better, so there's less waste in the food industry. However, by just really being consistent and persistent, you can really make some inroads. It's not easy. It's not easy for me, and as you stated, I've been doing this for 15 years now. But I will say that the best thing to do is to just persevere. You have to continue knocking on doors. It's not easy. And as I said, technology is getting better. The economy, they say, is getting better. But we have to really think about the holistic part of feeding people. And it's from the Bible, you teach a man to fish and you feed him forever, but if you give him a fish, you're only feeding him for one day.
Right.
So you will find that a lot of food banks, food pantries, and other organizations are teaching how to fish. You know, they have job programs and various training programs, and within those programs, they're teaching people how how to either build their own business, or they're giving them the skills to find a job. And it's not going to be easy. It's not easy now. And to be honest, it's not getting easier. But if you have people that are interested in opening a food bank or food pantry, I would say that if they're looking at logistics as something that's hindering them, then don't do that. I would suggest if they contact you, and then maybe you and I can work together, maybe find something that might work for them, I'd certainly be open to helping you do that, because I know that you work a lot with people who are really interested in this cause, out of altruism as opposed to selfishness. And I guarantee you that I'll do everything that I possibly can to make it a success for them at any level. So whatever you need me to do to help you help your clients, I will certainly do that.
While you're speaking on that, I want you to expound a little bit about telling them how important it is for them to have a 501c3. It is mandatory for anybody that's going to get any type of commodities or non-monetary or monetary to have that 501c3. And I wanted Jeanna to tell you a little bit about all the people that has been helped because of the 501c3 and the process that they need to go through to get it.
Okay, well, one thing that I can definitely state is that Jerry has put together so many 501c3s from friends that I know, from colleagues, and I have actually, I'm privy to information from people who have attempted to get their 501c3 on their own. I know it's a very time-consuming process. It takes a lot of writing. It takes a lot of skills to get it done. It can be done. However, it's a time-consuming process. I have seen Jerry bring someone's 501c3s and get their DUNS number and everything else in how long?
2 to 3 days.
Yes, and I know that you can do that because you have the skills and the expertise. You know what hoops to jump over, who to talk to, and it's not just here in California. I know you've done it down south on the East Coast, the Midwest, but what I'm here to say is that in order to be able to get many of the grants, especially government grants, many of them require a 501c3. You have to have something in place. And the best way to do it is to have it done quick, have it done professionally. And of course, I am jaded a little bit because I do really like Jerry Jones and the work that he's done. But I would definitely suggest that anyone who's really interested in getting a 501c3, it's on your heart to do something, then definitely give Jerry a call at Mega International.
I really appreciate you for saying that, Jeanna. We go back like 15 or 20 years now, and it's getting to be a real long time for both of us. And we've seen all kind of situations that we've been into with the junior colleges. I spoke at several functions that she's been at. She spoke at functions that I've been at. So what I say to all, get your 501c3. It's mandatory that you get it so that you can help yourself, help the community, and help the people that's going to be affiliated with getting the things that you want to help them with, and the donations, monetary or non-monetary. Now we're going to talk a little bit with Mr. James Jones, who is the pastor for Gangsters for Christ. And he's been around here with me for the last 15 or 20 years also. And so we're bringing on board a lot of people that has gotten a 501c, and they've gotten funding because of the things that we did for them way back early on. And I wanted them to be able to tell you a little bit about what they do. This is Pastor James Jones.
Well, good evening, Jerry. And I first, too, I want to congratulate you on the work that you've been doing. And thank you for one more opportunity. And it's always a pleasure to be with your esteemed guest there. We go way back also. And that's your Gangsters for Christ was started in 24 years ago. Mm-hmm. The need, I saw the need where I was blessed with the opportunity to have some influence in the community at a time when the gang situation was basically getting way out of hand. If anyone to know the real history of the gang banging in Los Angeles, your originals, what they call the OGs, the ones that founded it was founded to do good in the community. Start thinking that they were doing good,
Okay.
but it was actually turned what we felt was good actually turned destructive to our own people. And I saw that need, and it really it burdened my heart to know that I was even a part. So I took a lot. What a lot of folks might say, well, you know, you took a foolish chance because there was the probability that you may have been murdered or what have you for. But I just at that point I figured I felt like I compelled to do the right thing, which is, and God has tremendously blessed me. I started out just doing gang intervention and ended up developing relationships throughout the community, law enforcement, the churches, community, politicians, you name it. I always say that we have the hookups from the gutter to the udder.
Okay.
And we actually we can get a hold to, if we need to get a hold to Obama, we have those type relationships right now.
Okay.
But one of the things that that we're dealing with today and over the years, that when I first started out, and the few folks that started with me, it was more of a, you know, we had a heart, and we were doing it out of the fact that we knew that we did have those type of influence, and that we knew, we saw the need. Over the years, it's expanded so far out of hand now that it's going to it takes a lot of resources, and quite frankly, a lot of times the resources we've seen over the years have gone into the wrong hands, or to those who really didn't have the heart for the people of the community. So what we've done over the years to establish different collaborations with organizations, and as well as whether it be church, whether it be, and even working with law, universities. I mean, all inclusive. That's my goal, is to be as inclusive as possible. I always say, by omission or permission, we are all responsible for the conditions of our communities. So it's something for everybody to do. Now, everybody's not going to be, I don't expect everybody to go out into the parks and to some of the more what they call at-risk areas. And I don't expect you to do that, but I do want your prayers. I do want any support that you can send, any monetary support that you can send. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be money in kind. You know, just because what we actually are trying to do is use whatever resources that we have to calm down the murders and the killings in our community. You don't have to go far. You can just turn on the TV. Over in last 2 weeks in Los Angeles alone, we've had like over 15 murders. And just for a child to have to, even to be in an environment, I mean, to me, that's criminal. You expect a child to go to school and learn at a certain level and work at a certain level, and when he has to worry about if I'm gonna make it home safe, if I'm gonna die while I'm in school now, it's gotten to that point. So safe passage and those type things. Those are type things that we're working with, trying to develop those type of programs, and again, collaborations to do what we can to curtail the violence and stop the killing and the murder. And one of the organizations that I'm proud to be a part of is, and as you know, they were celebrating the 50-year anniversary of the Watts Rebellion a couple of weeks ago. Well, the Watts Gang Task Force, I facilitate that. That organization was started 9 years ago. As a result, we had lost 7 children right before Christmas. 7 children in a different housing development right before Christmas. And we said enough is enough. At that time, Janice Hahn was the councilwoman over there, and we just approached Janice and told her, no, this is not acceptable. And she listened. And we got together, formed the Watts Gang Task Force, which has been meeting since 9 years now. Every Monday morning, we sit down with who's ever the representing council person, who's ever is in the county representative office, who's ever in the state representative, and who's ever representing the federal government, along with the LAPD, sheriff, and clergy, and community, as well as the schools and the community. And we sit down and we do reports every Monday, communicating with each other, doing what we can to, stop the violence. increase in the peace.
Has this 501c3 been very instrumental in helping the donations that you've been getting? And what are your objectives for the future in terms of the type of funds you're looking to raise to combat the situation that you're working with now?
Absolutely, it's been as Ms. Kendall can attest to. As a matter of fact, we did a commercial. I did a commercial with the part of Mega International that went viral, and it's been a blessing. But the actually what it comes down to, we don't put any limitations on it. As you know, the resources are scarce everywhere right now. We need jobs. And we want to teach the training programs not with some viable, real, some type of sustaining ability to it, not just to go to learn just to learn, but we want to let our youth know that there is a better way, and that they can actually come get provided with a good, not just a livable position where they can survive, them and their families and what have you, off of, and careers. And I'm glad Sister Kendall brought up the fact about entrepreneurship. We have to, a lot of times, our young men, unfortunately, have made mistakes, and a lot of folks don't want to trust them. And they, even though society claims they've served their time, but the reality of it is we have a poor rehabilitation system that nobody really trusts, don't have any faith in. Every now and then you get a break, but there's nothing wrong with letting that child know that we serve a God of another chance. And you come out and start your own business, or work for someone, learn the business, and move on up. So entrepreneurship is something that we encourage, as well as we try to just instill in those the mindset, the changing, the renewing of your mind. The Bible says that renewing in your mind that you can, yes you can, and you are worth something. And as again this morning, one of the things came out of our board meeting is, and I'm excited about, we're launching that all lives matter. All lives do matter,
yeah.
And we want to. That's something that we're promoting now. Jay.
Well, we've been saying this right along, that a lot of the people that come out of jail that's been incarcerated, even if it's a nonviolent crime, we've seen that Obama let out more people than any president we've had in terms of letting people come out with nonviolent crimes. What I do say is that we need to lobby and being able to get their records expunged so they can get on to do what they need to do. If there's not anything of murder or gang killings or something, I think that if they did their time, they should be able to get their records expunged and being able to move back into society.
Absolutely.
And a lot of them can't vote, they can't be able to do various things, but we feel like once you have the nonprofit and you set yourself up with an entrepreneurship in terms of starting business, air conditioning, heating, drywalling, whatever you feel necessary that you can do, this is going to be very advantageous for you to have your own business. Quit looking to work for somebody else, and may give you a greater opportunity now that you can do this where before you wouldn't have never thought about doing it. But the people that went through this felony system, they know exactly they're not going to get hired. They're looking to get monies, and if you don't work, you're going to steal. So my thing is, start your own business, be your own entrepreneur, put your time into it, and make it happen for you.
Absolutely.
So these are the things that I wanted to kind of like expand on. Yeah, and I want to make sure that everybody realizes without the 501c3, you're helpless in this industry. You need to be able to get the 501c3 so you're able to get grants that are applicable for your particular application. We've been doing this for the last 17 years. We've run into all kind of situations, and we know beyond a shadow of a doubt things are changing. So we're saying this unequivocally. Get your 501c3 as expeditiously as possible. My name is Jerry Jones. My phone number is area code 310-337-1169. Jerry Jones, 310-337-1169. And a little bit about things that are happening also, that Jeanna and I go back to a lot of programs. James and I go back to a lot of different programs, but I want to make sure that they being here today will be able to excel, bringing more people that we can bring on air. We were talking earlier about Procter & Gamble and and we say AutoZone, and a lot of these big corporations can give donations to these people and let them understand, because every year we're looking at about Fortune 500 companies, all of them are giving out $40 to $50 million a year in donation, and low-income people are not getting the type of funds that they should. And I have a real problem with this. That's why I want to bring these corporations here to the table, let them expound on why they're not excelling, giving more monies out, of what do the low-income people that's patronized. You see Walmart has 115 stores. They get $1 million a day. But the low-income people are the ones that support them. But when you look at what they gave out with the $60 million, United Way, United Way, Red Cross, and Salvation Army were the main one that got the money. When Trevino hit down there, all the money was going down there, and they asked them not to send the money. So what I'm asking them is, if you're giving the money to the same people over and over again, but the people that are patronizing your business, you're not doing anything to help them with scholarship programs, feeding programs and stuff. This is what I want to bring to the table, and I want them to answer intelligently so we can make a difference in our community. My name is Jerry Jones, and I'm looking forward for you to take this, what you learned today with us here, and take it to other people so they can open their eyes and understanding. Get your 501c3, and let's see if we can help you eradicate some of these conditions that we didn't bring on ourselves, but we're got it expounded upon us. I'm looking forward to working with more of the people, youth especially. That's our future of tomorrow, and teaching them job skills and training. A lot of these youth got low GPA average and low grade skills, but they are not privy to knowing that there's certain things that they can change. Am I correct about this?
You're absolutely right, Jerry.
Yeah. Is there anything that you wanted to add to the program?
No, but just to add what you just saying, piggybacking on what you're saying, get that 501c3 and get involved. Get involved by choice and not by force, we say. A lot of times folks want to wait right till that problem hits their back door. They lose a loved one to this foolishness or whatever. And we always say, don't wait. Just again, get involved by choice and not by force.
My name is Jerry Jones, and this is Jeanna Kindle and James Jones. And Jeanna Kindle runs the largest food bank in the country. And please give us a call as expeditiously as possible. The phone number is area code 310-337-1169. And don't hesitate about that 501c3. If you don't utilize my company, get it done by any means necessary. Just get it, because it can do nothing but help you. That's your 40 acres and a mule, and we're going to move on from that. It was a pleasure, and I hope God continue to bless this business, bless the people that's here today, and we will continue helping you every day that you watch us every single day. We're on every day. 310-337-1169. And I am Jerry Jones, and I want to shout out there to everybody. Just keep on doing what you're doing. Thank you.